All right. All right. Welcome to Thursday Night Shift, everybody. We are so excited that you're here. Dawn actually helped us. Oh, Amber, not Dawn. Amber actually helped us with an opening question for tonight. And I think it's actually a really good question because we forget over time. We're like, oh, and first of all, it's kind of hard coming up with questions because we're like, what is a good question? So Amber totally was like, this is what I want to know. So this is the question to all you Superstar Director, our panel on here. When you get a new recruit, what is the one system that you think is the most important? Like, you better write it down, take a note, and make sure you do it for your new team members. And I'll just say mine, and then we're going to pass the baton. And I told Amber, I said, mine's really not a system, but I'm going to tell you, put her number or his number in your phone, and you talk to them like you're talking to your mama. When they first join, you help her get a launch party set up. You help her hit her shooting star. You help her promote to certified or him to certified. And you talk to that person like it's a family member until their 71st day. That is my number one. It's not even a system really, but the more you can communicate, get to know each other and figure out where they're at in this business and just working towards that next promotion one-on-one like that, it can't be automated. There's nothing to replace that. All right, who wants to take it next? Jen?
Sure. So sometimes I feel bad because I basically repeat myself over and over again all the time. But honestly, my big thing is to make sure that they don't get overwhelmed. We are in a world where you can go on YouTube and look up anything you want. And if you look up how to make samples, you're going to get 50 million different videos. If you look up how to do a party, you're going to get 50 million videos. And it is completely overwhelming. And I find over the last couple of years that some of my recruits are crippled by the amount of training that is offered to them. So I say, just keep it simple. Don't go online. Don't do any of the trainings. Get those testers under people's noses. Ask people for a favor. This is what I did when I started because we didn't have all the awesome training that is out there right now, but it made us get out there and just do it. The best training is on-the-job training. Get those testers under people's noses and share with them why Scentsy is so great, because we all know that we want to share, we don't want to sell, and we just have to keep reminding them that over and over and over again, because somebody simple like me, when I had joined, if Becca would have cut me loose and said, there's YouTube, go learn how to do everything, I would have never, ever had the success that I had. But I had to get out there and do it the old-fashioned way and have people smell this stuff and have people experience Scentsy. And I think that that is the most important thing that we have got to remember. We have got to stay with the basics, especially when someone is new, because it is so overwhelming. I think I've beat a dead horse at this point.
I'll go. I was going to say something along the same lines, except that one thing someone told me before is, remember, however you train your new people is how they're going to train their new people. So if you tell them that and you say, like, I'm going to train you this way so that when you get your first new recruits, you can train them this way. And Jen's right. There's so much information out there, and we didn't have a lot of that when we first started. I would have killed for that workstation checklist 12 years ago. And so I think if anything, you take that checklist and what Heather said, and after each step, they check in with you and answer questions. Do the next step, check in with you with your startup guide. Like those two things, like the startup guide and that checklist are gold. And if you can just do that with them and then teach them to repeat that process over and over and over again and not get so caught up, because it's so easy, like Jen said, to get caught up in the pretty things, the things that you think are going to make your business so much better if you do them and you start telling yourself, if I have this label, if I have this, like, honestly, when we first started, I think that I did a label that just said my name, black and white, like my website, my phone number, that was it, and stuck it on everything, because there weren't Facebook groups, there weren't all these, everyone sharing everything. And sometimes I think that can be detrimental, because a lot of us just sit still and try to learn everything before, like Jen said, we do anything. And I literally took my stuff to my office, set up a table, and just started sharing it with the employees. I didn't have pretty labels or postcards or like even customizable websites and stuff. We didn't have any of that. A lot of us are looking for the perfect things to say on our website or our newsletter or the perfect Facebook cover or the perfect this. You really, all you need is yourself, that checklist, your startup guide, and just to be excited. And I think if you train your new people that, and then tell them that, and then they repeat that, they will be off and running to shooting star and certified like nothing you've ever seen.
I think I'm up. So the best advice I can give you with somebody that's brand new is cultivate a relationship with them outside of Scentsy. So that the only time that, or so that they're not just only hearing from you when you're trying to tell them to do something or wanting them to do something. And it makes it a more comfortable environment for them to reach out. And I want to establish with my girls, I say girls, but I know there's guys too, but I like to establish that there's more than just selling Scentsy, which is why you want to stay here. Like it's more than just pushing a product and collecting a paycheck, that we build a community and we care about our people. And I want you to learn that early on. And so that's what I try to teach and show, because I want them also to feel that way when they bring people in. Like, this is a big happy family. This is a community. It's not just about wax and warmers. And I would really have a hard time leaving because it's not just about a catalog. There's people and they care about me because they ask. And so I try to establish a relationship pretty quickly outside of Scentsy so that when I check in, I can not only say, hey, did you check out this on the workstation? And when did you say you were going to Disney? And of course, that's the question I'm asking because my newest team member, that's exactly what I've been doing with her. She makes Disney ears. And I wouldn't have known that if we didn't start talking about something outside of Scentsy. And so anyway, that's my advice.
That's awesome. Really quick, grab your cell phone and take a quick picture on that note and post this on social media. Does your job get to do this? Does your job have a community like this? Do you get to hang out with this many friends? If you don't have this, come join us. I'd love to talk to you more. So everybody smile, look pretty, and take a picture and post it on your social. I'm going to do the same. And then we're going to let Anna Hughes answer because she's on here tonight. So, okay, good. You have different friends on your screen. All right, Anna, take away. What would your tip be?
Oh my gosh, mine was exactly Jilly Sue's. Like, the best thing that you can do is use the resources that are already available to you. So Scentsy is really amazing about making sure that they send an email to your new consultant on how to log into the workstation and to do the first things first checklist. It's there for a reason. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Helping them work through the first things first checklist is the best way to get them off and running with everything that the workstation has to offer. From getting that first party set up to the training tab and all of those things that are built in for us to be successful. So use what's available to you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
It's so important. Hopefully y'all got a piece of advice that maybe you hadn't heard or didn't think about. Sometimes we do. I know I overcomplicate things sometimes just because that's how my brain works. And it really is just keeping everything simple. And it's that KISS. It was keep it simple, sweetie. Is that what they say? Just it's KISS. Mm-hmm. And so you do have to remember that. So I'm excited about tonight's topic because we are talking about ways to work smarter, not harder in your business, and how to fit Scentsy into your already busy life or returning to normal life or not so normal life, and we're depending on where you live. I know we are just kind of wearing masks in and everywhere. So we thought it was normal, but we're kind of going a few steps backwards. But there's a lot of different ways to run your business, no matter where you live or what your conditions are. It is adapt and overcome. And so we are really excited to share different ways with you tonight, how you can work smarter and not harder in your business, and how to incorporate it, whether you're staying home and not going anywhere, or like we still go out to eat every night, but I sit at the bar, but I'm still meeting new friends. Like, there's ways to still do this. So does anybody want to just start off? This is going to be kind of an all over the place topic because there's going to be so many different ways you can work smarter, not harder. So I hope you have a pen and paper to jot some of these down. One of the things I'll tell you, this isn't really that grand, but it's really grand to me. I don't know why I love it so much. I look over there and I see it and I'm like, I just love, I feel so productive. Let me grab it and I'll show you. So every month I
We
like to
love
do,
that she's back.
huh?
We just love that your energy is back.
Oh, I'm here.
We
Yeah.
have, we have missed you.
Yeah, I have missed you guys. I have to tell y'all this, I do birthday cards for my team. I'm going to cover it up. That way you don't see this person's name and address. But on the first of every month, I'll run a report. There is a birthday report in your workstation. And I will I'll do them whole month in advance, run it. And then their actual birthdays in the top corner. And so I mail it 3 days prior. So it looks like I'm really remembering their birthdays. I try. I'm only one human. I don't even remember my husband's birthday. So I'm really not going to remember all these people's, my teams and my special friends, but I want them to feel special on their birthday. And then the stamp just covers up the little date. Happy birthday, Nat. So yeah, that's my little work smarter, not harder, just in bulk, and then put the date on the little window and on the right.
I just wanted to back up for 1 second. Sorry I hope I'm not interrupting you.
No.
Are you ready? So you've heard all of us talk about first things first, the first things first checklist. And before I forget this, because I just wrote it down because I knew I was going to forget it. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys all understand that sometimes I think you hear us and you're like, okay, I can never do that. I can't be like Melissa and form a relationship with everyone. I can't be like Heather and remember everybody's, like, I can't do that. I can't do that. But so I just want you guys to know that when somebody joins under you, they do get this thing called a first things first checklist. And if you didn't know that, I bet you at least 50% of the people on this call didn't even know that. Scentsy has our back now. Like when somebody joins, you don't have to know anything at all. And that's what's super cool about joining now. Somebody can join under you, and if you didn't even know that they joined, they could be completely successful. So maybe even jot that word down somewhere, first things first checklist. And if you do nothing else when somebody joins, besides build a little bit of a relationship with them if you can, is say to them, hey, how's your first things first checklist going? That's all you honestly need to know. So I just want a lot of you who probably are thinking, you know what, I can't do all this. I don't have time. I'm worried about sponsoring. Just offer the opportunity to people, keep it super simple, and tell them about the first things first checklist. Even if you don't know what it is, it's there. It's amazing. None of us had it back in the day when we joined. And so anyway, I mean, that is probably the smartest thing that Scentsy has, okay, that didn't come out right, but the thing that Scentsy has done for us, the biggest thing that helps us work smarter, not harder, because you don't have to be an expert in anything. You don't have to be even a lead consultant to have somebody to sponsor somebody and for them to be super successful. Scentsy has really set up the path for them. They have a path to follow. And honestly, like, it's just so much easier. So don't be stressed if you're sitting there thinking, I can't do all that. I'm not going to have anybody start a business. You can, because it's easier now. As long as they just follow that one little checklist, they're golden.
So true.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, what if on the monthly movement page, we started a thread where you could comment with what you're good at or what you do each month. So for instance, if you do a Scent and Warmer of the Month postcard every single month, put that on there. Because here's what I have found to be the smarter, not harder way to work, is if you find a couple people that you can collaborate with, and one of them's really good at making a Scent and Warmer of the Month postcard, and you're really good at making a customer newsletter, and somebody else is really good at making the Amy template for your customers and your teams, you collaborate and you each do what you're good at and you share it with each other. So if we put a post on the monthly movement page and you can put what you're currently doing, you could then shop for what you're looking to add and create a little group of people where each month you're like, okay, I got the postcard, I'll do the newsletter, I will do the Amy templates, I will do the Visley code template, I will do and you could pick, and that would be a really cool little way of finding an accountability group by shopping what you're looking for. Maybe you didn't even know what you're looking for. But if we're truly trying to work smarter, not harder, why are we all creating these things? And if you're not good at graphics, let's let a graphics person do it. But maybe you're really good with words. And so you can provide. That's not even a word. I'm saying be good with words. I'm making up words. But you can provide.
You made it cool. You
Thanks.
made the word cool. We can
Thanks.
use provide, can't we?
We're gonna start saying provide. It'll be our little code for Shift. But what do you think? Let's start that thread so that you can shop what you're looking for. Everybody's nodding, so I think you think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea because it's how I've started working smarter, not harder. Right? So maybe that means I should create the post and create the graphics. So I'll do it. Yeah. Don't worry, Callie, I'll get it. Everybody's commenting. Look, it's really weird to see Heather with Callie's name underneath her.
I know. I'm logged into her account.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to create that graphic while somebody else talks.
Somebody did have a question too, unless somebody's got another really quick. How is everyone handling testers on basket parties? Do you find that others are open to sharing testers? Been trying to think of the easiest way to share. So I will tell you, I did an event in last year when the first outbreak had happened. It actually wasn't canceled. And we printed all the fragrances by the fragrance family in really large font and laminated them and put them all on our table so people could see the names of the scents. And I said, if you want to smell any of these, let me know. And we actually just did them on the little felt. I actually half dipped mine. I don't fully dip mine because I'm cheap and I want them to go a long way. So if I figured if I can half dip versus full dip, I'll get double the amount. But you don't even have to do that. You can just cut a little sliver off and let them take it home and just keep it where you're not having to put your nose in different testers if you are in an area where you're concerned about that. There's a lot of different opportunities, but let them request the scents that they want. That way you don't feel like you have to give all of them to one person. So that is a little another way to work smarter, not harder. I hope that helps, Edna.
So here's my idea. I stick one of these sanitizing wipes in my basket parties, and I so creatively hand wrote on a Post-it note, please sanitize anything that you touch. So these are great. And I think that my people appreciate the fact that I care. So, and I think people take it serious. So they will grab a wipe after they've smelled all the testers, they'll wipe them down and they'll put them back. And if you're concerned, you'll grab a wipe and you'll wipe them all before you smell. So this has been really helpful.
Yeah, that's smart. I love what Lynn Lowe said. She cuts Q-tips in half and dips them in or rubbed those on the bars and testers and then threw them away after they're sniffed. Or you can even dip your Q-tip if you want to go that far as the melted wax. But yeah, that's a great idea, Lynn. Pirate ship is another one I'm going to tell you to work smarter, not harder. So I do love going to the post office and waiting in line, where I can strike up conversations. I always try to put myself in situations where I can at least meet one new person a day, whether that is, oh, cute shoes, I'm complimenting, and being able to hand something out, or if I'm sitting at the bar, eating dinner, striking up a conversation where we end up spending, 20 minutes together or an hour together. And we become Facebook friends by the end of dinner. Like I really try to be very intentional of at least trying to meet one new person a day. So when I would go to the post office, I would go in there and sometimes I would be mailing a lot, whether it's the party packs or my monthly newsletters, whatever it may be. But I invested and got the Rollo printer. It's ROLLO. So I can print my shipping labels, the big ones, immediately just right from my computer. I've got a postage scale. You can buy them on Amazon. This one actually came from the post office itself, where you can weigh your packages and you actually save money on pirateship.com. So that to me is working smarter, not harder, because I literally am shipping things so much faster. And I can be like, Trace, take that bag to the post office and go drop it off for me. Like I don't have to leave anymore. So I love Pirate Ship. That's another one of my working smarter, not harder tips.
I have some. Okay. Well, I just lost my train of thought because it was something going back to what Melissa said, but that's okay. I'll come back to that. So for those of you that are using social media, I would say, like, if you feel like you just do better in person and you're not really using social media, then this wouldn't be for you. But if you are, and it's probably a given, but I bet a lot of people don't do it, is to batch your photos, batch your content, meaning take a bunch of pictures at once, whether it's a selfie of you or a picture of a warmer that came in or whatever. And then I'll lay in bed at night and edit those pictures. So I'm not doing that during the day. I edit those pictures and then I have them in folders on my phone so that any given moment, and a lot of times you can use Later, Later, the app, or Planoly, and you can actually input all of your photos and you can move them around. That's how, like, on my Instagram account or even my Facebook page, all of my photos kind of go together, is because I'm adding them to those apps and I'm moving them around so they all look a certain way. But if you are trying to meet people and network and using social media to do that, you're always going to be chasing your tail. If every day you're like, oh my God, I got to post today. Oh my God, I got to post today. I got to take a picture today. You're better off to set up all of your holiday warmers or all your fall stuff or whatever you're going to do and snap a picture, snap pictures, snap pictures, snap pictures. Planoly, Planoly. There's Later. There's a few of them, different ones. I edit all my pictures and then I load them into those apps, and you can literally drag and drop and move things around so that everything kind of looks okay. You can schedule them. You can have everything going to your Facebook page, your Instagram, both doing whatever. But you have to be prepared. I mean, when you get ready to post those and you're scheduling them, the best way to connect with new people, and I've been doing this, really focused on it this week, is going to other people's pages that I follow, and commenting and liking and making friends. Like, I've had 4 or 5 people reach out today, and I posted a lantern on Instagram and I got 4 orders just from new people. If you're only following Scentsy people on your Instagram, if you're only watching what they're doing and you're not interacting with anybody else, and that's your sole way of trying to meet new people and you're not leaving your house, you're never going to do yourself justice. You're not going to find anyone because you're only interacting with Scentsy people. You're stalking all the Scentsy people to see what they're doing and what they're posting. You've got to get in there and actually interact, even if it's laying in bed and doing it for 20 minutes a night and commenting on other people's stuff. But I definitely batch all my photos. I take a day and I'll just go around and snap pictures. Everything that I post is usually not in the minute. I probably took those a week ago. So batch stuff that way, put a good description so people will come back, and then you've got to interact with people. It's the same as anything that you would do in person is what you need to do on social media. And a lot of times we're so concerned with just posting our own stuff and selling that we don't take the time to interact so that we can meet people and make friends. So it's the same as in person online. You just got to put in the work. But I wouldn't try to take pictures every day when you could be following up with customers and booking parties and doing all the things, because you're just constantly chasing yourself and you don't get anywhere.
And then Karen made a really good comment. She said, I am the caregiver for both of my elderly parents. Most of my business is done via mail because they've moved their parents from state to state. She said she did really good last year, and she actually promoted to lead from all the mail because her customers are scattered all over the United States. But she said this year, not so good. So what I love about your statement, Karen, is number one, you're taking care of your elderly parents. I love your heart for that. And number two, I love that you acknowledged last year to what your promotion was. And you're like, okay, I'm acknowledging that it's not so good. So what I love is that you've got to fix something. You've identified the problem. So what could you do to overcome that? So I personally would reach out to those really great customers scattered all over the United States, and I would send them a text. Hey, Susan, I really appreciate your business so much. I'm currently the caregiver of my elderly parents, if you already knew, and I'm really looking to expand my business this year. Do you have anybody that would be your VIP that I would love to send and spoil a little package with and send them to? And that way you're asking for referrals from your already great existing customers. So identify the problem and figure out a solution. What can you do? Think outside the box to where you can find a solution to overcome that problem. Because where there is a will, there is a way. It's just going to take a little bit of effort and consistency, but I love going to my already good people. In fact, one of my customers just referred me a brand new person to Scentsy. And I actually had my whiff box half off from my subscription. And it was a good whiff box this month, the little with the mini fan diffuser and all that, right? I actually bought another one because it was so good. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a great box. And normally I give everybody a free bar when they send me a new customer, but I'm not getting referrals like I used to. So I think maybe my free bar prize, if you give me a new customer, is getting kind of boring for them. So what did I do? I hand wrote a note and I went and dropped this whiff box on her porch with a card that said, "Anne, thank you so much for referring your sweet neighbor. I just wanted to give this August whiff box to you as a huge thank you for helping me grow my business and my customer base." And the reason why I told her it was August, because I wanted her to know it's different every month and fall in love and subscribe to it. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, can I afford to give one whiff box away every single month now to somebody that brings me a customer? Yes, because if they start seeing me do that, like, I need to make sure my hostesses are spoiled the most, but people also bringing new people to me need to be spoiled really well too, instead of people just buying from me, because they're going to buy regardless. I shouldn't have to reward them just for making a purchase. I mean, I go to Chick-fil-A and they don't give me, well, no, they do give me free rewards for my app. See, so I do like that. But most of and I get free drinks at other restaurants. Okay, this is a bad example. There are some restaurants I don't get perks to, actually. So I'm going to figure out what those are. But if they host a party, right, then you get more. Like, you get my point. Like, reward what you want repeated, but think about, you want recruits and you want parties and you want to meet new people before you're rewarding buying.
So I have another one if somebody else isn't hopping in right
Yeah.
now. And it's so funny that my daughter is walking in right now. I was hoping to get this in before she came. So get an assistant. Now, I know that many of you are thinking, I can't pay an assistant. I can't afford an assistant. I just started Scentsy. What are you even talking about? Get an assistant. Notice I didn't say hire an assistant. I said get an assistant. People love Scentsy. You can spend your time on income producing activities. I think we've been through that time and time again. Get somebody who enjoys making samples. I'll tell you, every teenage girl I know, so I was just throwing my daughter under the bus. She was 5 when I started Scentsy. She's turning 18 next month. She used to love to help me. And then one day she didn't. Unless it was the year that we were earning a family trip. Then she was way more likely to help me. But what happened is I got smart. I realized that her friends loved helping me and loved to make samples for me and do all of those things for me for a Scentsy bar. Or if they did it for a whole week, if they came every day after school, a Scentsy buddy. Honest to God, these kids love it so much. So if you have any connection to any age child, a 5-year-old can totally put samples in a bag for you or whatever you want, and they will love it and you'll feel good. Like, it's the best feeling in the world. So get yourself some type of assistant. Now, if it's not a kid, a neighbor, a friend, somebody who doesn't get to get out of the house much, say, come on over and I'll give you 2 hours of work and you can leave with 3 bars of Scentsy or whatever you can afford to pay them with. And then they're going to use your product and say, you know what, the only thing I ask is that you share how much you love it. And then you will eventually probably have a new team member. And so get yourself an assistant, no matter whom it is, no matter what you have to do to get, just, it makes such a difference in so many different ways on so many different levels. And you are definitely going to be working smarter and not harder.
Okay, I will show you Smarter Not Harder with something in my wheelhouse. First of all, on the monthly movement page, I posted, it's a bicycle graphic. It says, what's in your wheelhouse? And it explains, here's the funny part. So I went to say on there, hey, if you missed Thursday night shift tonight, and then I realized there's 25,000 people on the page and they don't get an invite to Thursday night shift. So I took that out of there, and we will be the ones that rock it out and start that thread, and you'll understand what you're supposed to do. And then maybe other people will follow suit and you'll have a longer list of people to choose from. So anyhow, that post is out there, but I am going to take it completely unrelated and tell you that I will show you how to make to work smarter, not harder by giving you an idea. Now, well, if you didn't know, you probably know now. I'm a shopaholic, borderline hoarder of wonderful things. Somebody once said that if you collect things, you're just a hoarder with a nicer name. And so I'll own that. That's okay. But I religiously stock Target and Home Goods. Okay. So here's my little tip I'm going to give you right now. So on Target, on the app, you can actually go to where you can shop. Jen Audette, this is solely for you. No, I'm just kidding. Not just you. You can go to the Bullseye Playground category. Now, there's some of us on here that are going to get mad that I'm sharing this because you then have the opportunity to maybe buy something that I need. But there's only 94 or 111 of us. I think it's okay. So if you go to Bullseye's Playground on Target, you can right now buy this stack of Boo Buckets. So let me show you this. It is they're $1 each, so 10 for 10. It comes in this package. So you've got this one with a bat and a cute heart. This one that says Boo. And this super cute ghost. Okay. But here's my vision for these. How perfect is a mini fan and a pack of pods for a $25 gift? We could call these Boo Buckets, and it's a mini fan and set of pods, and you could wrap it really cute, and you could do this. You could advertise this, right? We can advertise this because it's the right price, right?
Yeah.
15 and 10, 25.
Yeah, $25.
All right, so
Absolutely.
you might take a dollar hit on the bucket. Who cares? If you sold 10 of them, which I say I challenge you. Now, you could also probably go to the Dollar Tree. They've got things like this right now. I'm always on the hunt for little things that I can use for packaging or little gifts or I don't know. I just saw these and thought it was absolutely perfect for the mini fan and a pack of pods. $25. You can post it and sell 10 of these. That's $250, you guys. I think you're willing to give away a $1 bucket for $250 in sales. Yeah?
And remember, if you sell 12, 2 of those sets of pods were free.
Precisely.
So you've made money.
Right.
Jen is
Even with the
coming in
buckets.
hot with the bundle price.
I'm so smart.
Yeah. So anyhow, that is just a super cute little idea. You can even color code your pods with the buckets. You can get super cute. You guys will take this, run with it, and make it 10 times cuter. But it's a really cute little thing. It's also a really great little, you could have a Boo Bucket party.
Yeah. Teacher gift.
And perfect teacher gift.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect teacher gift. And so anyhow, there's my Smarter Not Harder package design bundle.
Those
for
are
tonight.
cute. I have a little list of things that I wrote down because it's kind of hard to think of the things that you do that are working smarter, not harder when you're put on the spot before a call. One of the things I wrote down is figure out what you're going to say every time someone comes and places an order to get them to book a party or turn it into a party. That is working smarter, not harder, because here's the deal. If you just take the order, total the tax, add the shipping, take the payment, you don't know if you don't ask. You've got to figure out a way to say, do you think maybe some of your neighbors or friends need bars or bulbs? Like something just very casual. You should totally just set up a party link and see if we can get this for free or half price or whatever that looks like to you. But you have to say something in order to give them a chance to turn this into a party. So I charge shipping on everything. I don't give free shipping on anything. If you want free shipping, you have a $500 PRV party with me. That's the rules. Everything that's in place in our catalog for shipping is what you're going to pay. My perks are the hostess plan. My perks are becoming a consultant, getting paid. So I don't wheel and deal and give discounts on shipping. If you're coming to pick up product for me or order it, I'm going to charge you that 5% shipping every single time on every single order because that's what I'm paying. I'm not going to lose part of my commission just to give you your a little discount, right? So if you want free shipping, absolutely, I charge shipping for my local customers because I'm paying the shipping, right? So unless it's over $500 and I'm ordering and they're on a party, they do not get free shipping. So I don't give discounts. I don't ever give bundle deals. Like I don't even rarely do the 10-bar special because here's the deal. It really is important for me to build a business when I am rewarding my hostesses and my regulars or my Scentsy Club subscriptions. Those are the things I'm trying to recognize and really reward. I don't believe in rewarding people tons for just coming to buy here and there. I'll give you samples to try of more products that you'll fall in love with. My newsletter with 3 felt samples will hit your mailbox every month. If you're buying frequently, right? I'm not going to keep sending something to you if you're not buying or booking a party in 3 months. So I would also take advantage, working smarter, not harder, of doing a little label if you need to. Like I created this one on Canva. The template was already there. And it just said, sweet, you must be in my Facebook group page. Join here. You'll want to see my fall season giveaways every month. Here's a hint, best blanket ever. So what I'm going to do for the fall is I signed up for that Minky Couture blankets. They're very expensive blankets, but they're really nice quality. So what I've been doing is I've been setting some money aside so I can do this for October, November, and December. So I buy 3 blankets. I'm in their club where I get a $20 credit and a 40% off. If you host a party with me during the month of October, your name is going to go into a drawing to win this Minky blanket. It's not buy. You can't do pay to play. So they can't pay to play for a chance to win anything. Thank you, Lynn. She helped me remember that on our Work It Wednesday call. So it's for booking. I need parties right now because we all know when you have a great party, it's easier to flip. So I'm looking for bookings right now and I'm looking for new recruits. That's my mission. So I figured, who doesn't want a Minky? Like, are you kidding me? And a lot of my friends know what they are because I gave them to them for Christmas, my good girlfriends at Christmas time. So tonight, right before we got on, I was going through my list and making sure I was friend requesting all my people that I was writing a newsletter to. And then I was sending them an invite to my VIP lounge. So I was like multitasking tonight. Yes, you're on my newsletter list, but I'm also going to send you an invite to my VIP lounge.
Jen? Except you guys, I have 2 more ideas for you. And Jen has one idea too. This is taking it back to shopping. They also have these large buckets. I did buy a couple of these and Jill just sent me the link. So these large buckets, so that'll fit more product if you wanted to do a mystery host bucket or a mystery bucket. And they say sweet and spooky, goblin candy all night, witch and famous, and you've been booed. So that's an option. There is also, here's the trick with Bullseye's Playground on Target's app. It is not intuitive. You'd think Target would have it smarter. If you actually search the Halloween category under Bullseye's Playground, it only brings up 4th of July. Kind of sounds like our Scentsy workstation. So you have to shop all products, and the newest products will always be listed on top, and it changes like every 5 minutes. So even if you're like, oh, I checked today, those buckets could be back in 10 minutes from now. So those buckets are available on there. And then Jen, what idea did you just have? And I can show the picture while you talk about it with what you just texted me. I'm actually looking for them and I can't find them at the moment. But
I know. I
going
keep
in my
adding
cart.
them to my cart and they're not coming. They're not showing up. So something's wrong.
But go ahead.
Anyway, they're super cute. I was looking for Melissa's things and these came up and they're $1 each. And look at how cute they are for Scentsy soak samples. So
Yeah,
at Target.
little
and they have,
potion bottles.
Potion bottles. So another thing that I thought of when Heather was talking about shipping is smarter, not harder. I forgot one of my favorite. So 2 of my favorite tips I've ever gotten. One was from Adie Mitchell and it was like 12 years ago. And she said she's always offered a free scent circle for anybody. Hi. So she has always offered a free scent circle to anybody who picks up from her porch. And so I implemented that like 9 years ago. And now literally my people will say, I'll just pick it up at your house, because they know that I'm going to tie one of their favorite scents in a scent circle on the outside of their bag. And it saves me from driving all over the place. And they totally don't mind at all. You'd be surprised at, I mean, it's so much easier people who come by my house than me going out and delivering to 10 people. And I often hear people say, but that's a great service that I provide. But I'm going to tell you right now, people would rather have a free car freshener and come pick it up from you than you providing the great service of dropping it off. Many people, I don't mean everybody, but many people. So that was the one. And then the other one that, since I said there were two, was Nicole Furland. She always said, never give out business cards. If you're going to give out a business card, give out a magnet, because people have a hard time throwing a magnet in the trash. They will put that on their fridge or wherever that there's some, somewhere they can stick it. But a regular business card is just going to go into the trash. So if you feel like you need to invest in something like that, do a magnet and make it super cute. Like, let Melissa design it for you so that they actually want to hang it, or Jill or Heather, anybody. You just don't want me to design it. But anyway, something cute that they will hang up and put your information on it. And people will really like to hang that.
Melissa, are
Resident-
these your bottles?
Resident shopper here. Let me see. Is that what you got? Oh my gosh, they're bigger than I thought.
You already got them.
Yeah, I got them Tuesday. I
So
didn't
what's
get 'em
inside of
all.
yours?
Listen, they'll
Did
be
they
back
come
in
with
stock.
something in them?
Yes.
Glitter.
This one
Oh.
says witch's brew and it's got purple sparklies.
Oh, I thought they were empty.
No.
No, but
they're
you could
cute,
dump
though.
the glitter into something else
Yep.
and
Yes.
repurpose that.
And this
Yep.
one says bat wings.
That's awesome.
I love it.
So here, if they don't, they'll be back in stock. Trust me, they've come.
Oh, they just are starting to put them out.
Yeah, trust me. But if you want a more cost-effective, on Amazon, there are, hold on, it'll focus. You can get 12 of the glass bottles with cork stoppers. You just have to print, and I'm telling you, if you Google like potion labels, you will be able to print potion labels of your own from Google. So if that's something that you want and you want them now, you don't want to wait for Bullseye's Playground to get their SHIT together, then that's an option as well. And all I did was type in glass bottles, cork stoppers.
Hey, Dollar Tree has some glass bottles, 3 for $1.
Yeah, Dollar Tree is a good place. You might even be able to get those small buckets.
It's in their craft section.
Yeah, if you're a Target Red Card holder, you get free shipping no matter the size of your order. So for me, it's faster and saves me more money than if I actually drive to the store, because I will come home with $364 worth of things I didn't go for. So it's better if I shop online.
Okay, I have one more. I would tell you to take your testers and divide them up into little pouch parties or basket parties if you're not doing it, and find someone to take them. So if it's one set of testers is making 6 or 7 pouch parties, those are going to be your little employees working for you, where you literally could doing 5, 6 a week versus waiting for one person to have a party, or do it in conjunction with a home party or an online party. But utilize this holiday and fall season to really focus on basket parties and pouch parties. It's a really easy way to get things in people's hands, and we're there like little employees doing all the work. Maybe it's putting it in a teacher's lounge and bringing cupcakes and the scents and letting somebody be the hostess, whoever's collecting the orders or whatever. But you can do something like that. I will tell you, it's not set in stone yet, but it's been a little bit of idea in my head to try to get the air purifiers into all the teachers' classrooms that I know with COVID. I put one in my husband's classroom. So I thought it would be a really great way to put it out there for you to do some sort of a fundraiser to sponsor a teacher. So either they can set up their shopping link and solicit their own friends and family to get $500 in orders. And then if that's $500 in orders, that's $125 commission if I was doing a fundraiser. So I figured I would use the 3 half price items and I would just pay the 125 instead of me giving the money later. I will donate that air purifier to the classroom and put some sort of sticker or a sign that can sit next to it, maybe a tent. So we're not putting vinyl on a product and making it illegal. But, you know, this has been donated by Heather Gorsuch, Cincy Independent Consultant. So think about outside the box. I know a lot of you think these air purifiers are expensive. I have already sold 2 of them at full retail and they didn't blink an eye. So no matter what you think something is worth or value, someone else is going to find value. And it's amazing the fact that the lady that just came over purchased the air purifier, has air purifiers all over her home, dropped $470 immediately. And by getting orders from her friends in like less than an hour, we're up to $500 within an hour and a half. But the point is, I didn't think the air purifier, she would be interested because she made the comment she had them all over her house. So how is ours different than everybody else's? Ours has fragrance. And so I immediately said, you know what I love about ours? Number one, I love that I can keep the air clean in my husband's temporary classroom building. I had it going in my house when she came over. But I love that we can put the pods in the top and you legitimately can smell coconut lemongrass in the front. So share that, because if they're already a Scentsy lover and the fact that they can get a product that they already may have, but can add Scentsy fragrance to it, it is a big deal to some of these people. So think about that, brainstorm a little bit of how maybe you could do a fundraiser for teachers' classrooms. It's a great way to give back, or maybe even just try to get one for a nurse. Our nurses and medical staff are working like crazy. What a great way to be able to give back in these times and really, you know, contribute to giving back to them. I know they're on back order now, but there's other things that we can do to really come together. And it's really is a great product. I love mine. And so far I've had several people that are working for the shopping links to try to get the 500 so they can get theirs half off.
Jen Audette?
You go. I just am rambling about nothing.
Oh, I'm rambling about nothing. You go.
Well, I have my mobile office, but it's really not that exciting. But you probably all already know about a mobile office, right? Okay, I won't go through it, but get yourself a mobile office. And I have a funny little thing here, and a couple of my friends will appreciate my business magnets that are still in this mobile office. I think I should get rid of those, huh? Anyway, long story. But so I get these sewing bags at Hobby Lobby, and there's always a 40% off coupon. Every time there was a 40% off coupon, I would go in and buy one. I think I own like 10-ish now, but I bought them one at a time. The most probably important thing that I keep in this is light bulbs, because every time I'm anywhere, somebody comes up to me and they're like, hey, do you happen to have any light bulbs with you? Honestly, that is the one thing that makes people so happy. And me giving them a free light bulb makes them a customer for life. So I don't personally often charge. You totally can. They will just be grateful that you had the light bulb with you. But I will say it has brought me a lot of business just by having light bulbs with me and able to hand them out. I do try to keep a couple of little gift bags just in case I come upon somebody and they, you know, I'll throw it in throw the light bulbs in the little gift bag just to have, which by the way, I buy bulk bags at Nashville Wraps. Check them out. They have sales sometimes. You can get them on sale. I always keep a, what are these called? A recruiting packet, whatever you want to call it, like a join packet. I always have several of those available. Right now, because it's hot, I don't have wax, but I just keep things that aren't going to melt. I have like a room spray. I'll keep a pods, a bunch of scent circles, just stuff so that I can hand to people if I see them and they're like, hey, do you have the new catalog? I, of course, always have the new catalog in my car, and I always have the little set of stickers. So I make sure I'm loaded up on those. If I didn't get all of them, I'll just say, you know, I have the ones that, if you have 3 on there, it's plenty. You don't even have to print this whole thing out. You give what you have. I will say that for those of you who have been around for a while, And I don't want to open a can of worms, but I will tell you, this was taught to me by Anna Hughes. I could not teach it to anybody else, but it's called yumiwho.com. Is that right, Anna? Yumiwho? Yumiwho? Am I saying it right? Yes, yumiwho.com. And so anything that I have in my house in stock, I upload to this website called Yumiwho. You cannot ever post that online. It is on a public forum. You cannot ever post this publicly. But I keep these with me, so when people say to me, if I'm at a field hockey game or a hockey game, whatever, when I'm out in the public and they say, hey, do you have any warmers in stock? I carry these pieces of paper with me with a QR code. I say, just focus on this QR code. That's what's in my house. And I'm telling you, I've gotten rid of so much stuff because I used to do shows, and because of COVID, I had a little more stuff in my house than I used to have because I had, kind of saved up through the year. Those of you who do shows, you know that every month you buy a little bit of extra so that when you go to do your shows, you're not buying it all that 1 month. So I would do it slowly. But yumiwho.com, honestly, this was like Anna, but however she found this, I have no idea, but it is so great. And it's worth $1 million just to have that available. And the other thing that I think is super important is my club. I made a little postcard about Scentsy Club and I hand that out. So I would say that my three most important things is my Yumiwho, the Scentsy Club, and light bulbs. And I carry that all with me. I am stocking my light bulbs in my mobile office all the time. So like I said, mobile office means I keep this in my car and I just have things that if it's hot, things that aren't going to melt. I live in Maine. It's only hot like 14 days out of the year, but those 14 days I can't keep wax. I might be exaggerating slightly, but whatever you can, whatever the climate is where you live, you keep what you can in your car. Don't be caught Scentsy naked. Keep these things in your car. And when you meet people, just say, hey, do you have a catalog? Because I have one right in my car for you. If they walk with you and say, oh, I always keep light bulbs. And I'm telling you, it will definitely change your business.
Okay, so I just wanted
go.
to quickly pop in and give credit where credit was due. And I learned about Yumiwho from my second gen director, Alyssa Sutera. She's amazing. She taught me, she coached me through the whole thing. And the cool thing about Yumiwho now is that they actually have a Scentsy catalog. So if you set up your account, you're able to just go through and click the items that you have, and it will add it to a list for you with the description of the item, the image of the item, and the pricing of the item. So it's all done for you as long as it's somewhat current. Otherwise, you're going to have to put it in if it's something that hasn't been around for a long time. So I love Yumiwho. It's been a great way for me to move some of my stock through. Sometimes, we're the host and we're the consultant. So we end up with this free stuff that maybe you're not using it all on your own, or you're not making samples out of it, or you're not using it as prizes. This is a great way to turn it over. And before I turn my camera back off and finish my dinner, I have one more thing that I wanted to say. I appear to be a very outgoing person, but I'm very uncomfortable talking to people and asking them for their information. And so something that really helped me, if you're like me and you want to give people catalogs, but you don't want to give it away without getting their name and their phone number and all of their contact information, is I will fake be the worst consultant in the world. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't have any catalogs on me. I would love to send you a catalog in the mail with some samples. Can you just text me your address? Because now I have their address and their phone number without having to feel awkward asking for it. So there's that.
Such great advice. I would use that. I use that too. Yeah, Yumiwho is amazing. And this working smarter, not harder. I learned it from Lynn, and then I did nothing with it for like months. And then I saw Anna's and I was like, oh my God, I have to utilize this, because you guys can text that, you can message it. And most importantly, I think, and this was like eye-opening to me, we still have, even though the contact tab is what it is, but you still have that newsletter that goes out every single month, you guys. So many of you are like, I don't have the money to mail. I don't have, I'm on a budget. I can only mail X amount to my customers. You still have a newsletter that goes out, whether you do your own in Flowdesk or some other service. You still have the Scentsy newsletter that's free. And if you do your Yumiwho, you can put that link in your newsletter. And talking with Scentsy this week, they said only 1,000 consultants customize their newsletter. 1,000 people out of 300,000. I know I have an alert on my phone, and it also pops up at the top of your workstation where it says like your newsletter is going out on this day, which we never had before because I never remembered. But if you want to work smarter and you want to be in the face of your customers every single month, put an alarm on your phone, set it for that Monday of this. It goes out the second Wednesday of the month. Put your Yumi Who link in there. You have to do it every single month because Scentsy puts their spiel in there. And they asked me, why do you think that people don't use this a lot or customize it? I said, the reason, one, people forget. Two, most consultants don't know what to say in there. Don't know what to put, right? Put in there, like you're talking to your best friend, put in there what you're excited about this month and how the air purifier is out, and they can, think about the things that Heather say, like your mentality should be about getting people to join and getting people to host parties. So that's what you talk about, the air purifier and doing their own shopping link and earning 1/2 off. And then you can put all your links on there. To see behind the scenes Scentsy, follow me on Instagram or follow my story on Instagram. And to see my secret stash, here's the link to my Scentsy inventory. Like, that's super important, because if you have 100 customers, 500 customers, 1,000 customers, and you're telling us like, I don't have the money to mail even my top 50, you can get that newsletter with your personal information every single month. And so, yes, we have a newsletter that goes out. Scentsy pays for, like, it's included in our website. If you go to your contacts tab, there's a newsletter area. And then I think it activates the first of the month or something where it'll say this is customizable. And Scentsy puts a little like 2-sentence spiel in there, but you can literally, and I tell myself, if I don't know what to say or I haven't seen anyone do anything, I just say, what would I say to my best friend about Scentsy this month? What am I excited about? And you're limited on characters, but if you haven't done anything more elaborate, like a Flowdesk or Mad Mimi or any of those ones, and you just want to do the basic simple, like we said from the beginning, you don't have to complicate this. Scentsy does it all. Get in there, set your alarm, talk to your best friend in 1,000 characters or less, what you're excited about in the current month, and put your most important links in there, because then your goal is to get in front of people every single month. And your newsletter is a great way to do that, because people still check their email. Promise.
And then one last thing I'm going to share is Jamie had shared it with me that Chelsea Otto did was a really great video on her social media. She took the warmer and put it next to her air purifier, took the dish off, took it close, lit a candle, blew it out, and immediately went red. It's a great visual video to share with your customers. So create that. If you've got one, make your own video, show your customers. People were really impressed, the ones I had shared that with, like, wow. And it kind of catches you off guard, like, wow, those jar candles really do, you are breathing that in, right? So it is just a really great, smart way to market for safe candles and our air purifier as well. All right, we have 2 minutes left. So if anybody wants to share any last minute tips or ways to incorporate Scentsy in your already busy life, if anybody's got any last ones for those, we got 2 more minutes. I'm going to say brand your car and wear t-shirts. Oh, go ahead, Tammy.
I've been sick, so my doctor just called me. I was tested with my blood and I have valley fever, and I guess you can catch it, and I have fungus growing in my lungs. You can catch it by breathing in dust, and where I live at, it's really dusty. And so I got the air purifier. I told her about that because she told me I need to try to keep my windows and screens and dust a lot and
Right.
everything. So, and because I got the home, I told her about it, and that's perfect. Try to get one for every room. And she goes, and that will really help, because now I have to fight this for 6 months and hoping that I don't end up in the hospital.
Right.
But I have to go get treatment. So that's important, that we
It
have
is.
those in our home now. And
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that Scentsy, because I never had one before.
Yep, me either. Thanks, Tammy. We'll be praying for you. So I believe Chelsea Otto's video was on her story, so it's gone. So you'll have to recreate your own or find one that somebody has done that makes it available for everyone.
And I think Anna had one on her story that might still be there.
Oh, cool.
She can tell you.
Yeah, it's still there, and I did it with hairspray too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So go to Anna Hughes. Is it on Instagram or Facebook, Anna?
It's on both Instagram
On
and
both.
Facebook.
Perfect. There you go. That's great.
And Judy Baker asked if the newsletter was only region 1. And I think it is right now. Don't hold me to that, but I think that only Region 1 gets the newsletter right now. So that would be something you would use with, I don't even know if Region 3 has, or 2 or 3 have, you're probably Region 3 if you're up right now. So I don't even know if you guys have Amy, but for the record, we had nothing like this for many, many years. We didn't have Amy. So I'm pretty sure you guys don't have a newsletter yet, but I think that it's because of international things. They can't actually make it happen yet, but I think they're working on it.
All right. Anybody else
Can
have
I-
any last thing?
Can I just end? Can I
Yes,
end
please.
us
Yeah,
on
end
something?
us. That'd be great.
So I had dinner tonight with a friend of ours. It was with their family, and he is the chief technology officer for a company. And him and I were sitting and chatting, and he asked me about Scentsy. And he knows I do Scentsy, but he asked the stories behind the story, right? So the questions behind the surface questions. And I sat there tonight and I told him about Scentsy and felt so good about it. And we talked about how it started, because, there's never the assumption that a company was started by 2 women or 2 stay-at-home moms, right? He immediately, when he asked who founded the company, he asked what the guy did before. And so I shared a little bit of the Scentsy story, 2 stay-at-home moms, a guy down on his luck, it just right time, right place. It was supposed to happen. And he said, so we're talking about that. And I said, he said, what was their revenue last year? And I said, almost $1 billion. And he was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, no, it was just shy of $1 billion. He's like, that's legit. And I was like, yeah, we've been around for almost 20 years. Like, in this industry, first of all, in this industry, to be around 20 years, that's amazing. And second, to be a consultant with a company for 13, that's pretty impressive as well. And I said, and the coolest part is, I said, I love the product. The product is really what brought me in, but I love what it's done for me. I love what this business has done for me. I said, if I wasn't doing Scentsy, I don't know that I would have found my way to motivational speaking or being inspiring or, empowering women to believe in themselves. I don't know that I would have found that path, but because of Scentsy has become the car that I drive to get to the destination I want to be at. And so, yeah, we're wax and warmers, we're home fragrance. But it's so much more than that. And what we get out of our businesses is different. Each of us, what we get, it can be that it's our happy place. It can be that it's our escape from a really bad situation or a really bad home life. Or it could be that it's the only thing that we claim our own. And it's the only time we carve out for ourselves. It's the only time that you get to be surrounded by peers, sort of your age, maybe not your age, because does age even matter? It doesn't. Not in Scentsy. Where you come from, does that matter? Not at Scentsy. It's the coolest community in the whole world. And boy, was I so proud tonight to sit and talk about this little direct sales company where I'm going to go out on a limb and say I probably make comparable to what he's making. And that's not bragging. That's me reminding myself that this little engine that can. It can. And you have the ability to do it too. It's not just 1 or 2 people that make it big in Scentsy. There's a bunch of people. And there are friends. And you have access to them. And if you don't have exact access to somebody that you want access to, you have access to one of us. And we can get you access to those people. He said to me, so how many consultants are like you in Scentsy? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, like that have like accomplished what you've accomplished. And I was like, well, there's about 250,000 consultants worldwide. And I think there's, I don't know, 400 or 500 of us. I said, but that isn't what matters. That's not what matters, because it doesn't matter how long we've been doing it or what our title is. It doesn't matter. Because the people are what make Scentsy matter. Not the title, not how long they've been here, but what they have to offer, what they bring to the community. And so I sat there tonight and I left that conversation so proud. So proud to talk about my Scentsy business, so proud to talk about the fact I'm a fragrance consultant, but that I lead people to believe in themselves. So if you struggle, which I have, I still do, if you struggle with telling people what Scentsy means to you, dig deep and find why you love it here. Because that passion is what will sell this business and you to people. Okay? And if you don't know, Cassie, I love you. You're so cute. Oh, she's fanning herself and crying. Listen, this is like where you watch those, like everybody starts falling over like they got taken to church. If you don't know some of the statistics that I told you, and I only told you a couple, but if you don't know who founded Scentsy, and if you don't know how Heidi and Orville came into the picture, and if you don't know how much we did last year, because I'll tell you what, when you're talking to, no offense, but when you're talking to a guy and you start talking about millions and billions, all of a sudden they perk up a little bit. I knew the right things to throw out at him to grab his attention a little bit more than what I had. But if you don't know those things, it's important that you do. You have to be, not only do you have to have your mobile office stocked with product and catalogs and things like that, you also have to have the knowledge stocked so that you have the opportunity to use it as well. Because this isn't some little, direct sales, multi-level pyramid scheme. I flat out said to him, I go, yeah, $1 billion where a lot of us are getting paid isn't a pyramid. And he's like, I wouldn't ever call Scentsy a pyramid. And I was like, good, because I'll school you on why it isn't. And in fact, I saved for you, since we're talking about this, and then I really do have to go, and so do you. Orville once posted why Scentsy is not a pyramid scheme, and I saved it. Have you ever come across information that you're like, I need to save this and file it away? Okay, so I do that all the time, and it's in my notes of my iPhone. And anytime, most of the time, it's Orville saying something about something, I save it. And boy, am I glad that I did, because now he's gone for 3 years, darn it. We need his wisdom sometimes. And so, but let me share this with you. And the cool part about being in my notes and instead of a notebook is I can just put in the word pyramid and it comes right up. So, let's see. Hold on. Okay. It's not that long. So here's Orville's words on why Scentsy is not a pyramid scheme. Compensation is based on the recruitment of others and not on the sale. Okay, that's what a pyramid is, right? Compensation is based on recruitment of others and not on the sale of products to customers. If a company gives compensation for the sale of product only, and that product is consumed, actually used, it cannot be considered a pyramid scheme. How about that? Pretty profound in one sentence. If a company gives compensation for the sale of a product only, then that product is consumed, actually used, it's not a pyramid scheme. We don't pay anything for recruiting. That is why someone has to become certified before we even give trip points. Also, Scentsy products are sold in a real marketplace, real customers with real prices. Some direct selling companies fail in passing the test because they compensate people for recruiting others, not for selling the product, or their products don't actually get used by real customers. For example, let's say that I had a company that sold Diet Coke, similar to Diet Coke. I get to buy a can of Diet Coke for $1,000 and promise to pay you $500 for every person you get to buy a $1,000 Diet Coke, and $200 for every person they recruit to buy one. You would be participating in a pyramid scheme, even though there was a product involved. On its surface, you could make a lot of money, but nobody's really participating to get Diet Coke. They are trying to get a scheme going where they can put $1,000 in once and get $500 a few more times and $200 a dozen times for bringing people in. Here's a more polished answer, because you know Orville always has to give his very far Diet Coke example, but here's his more polished answer. A pyramid scheme is a multi-level compensation scheme where compensation is based on the recruitment of others and not on the sale of products to real customers. If a company gives compensation for the sale of legitimate product at legitimate prices, and that product is consumed, it cannot be considered a pyramid scheme. We don't pay anything for recruiting. That's why our bonuses for growing our teams are called leadership bonuses. You're not getting a kickback for recruiting. It's a leadership bonus because you are guiding and helping somebody like you build a business. Some direct sales companies fail in passing the test because they compensate people for recruiting others, not for the selling of product. Their products are not real products at real prices, and their products don't actually get used by real customers. There isn't a real marketplace where the product would sell to anyone outside of the scheme. And there it is. He gave the Diet Coke example again. On its surface, you could make a lot of money, but nobody's really participating in the scheme. You get a couple people, you get paid a couple times. The people at the top get all the money and everybody else loses. So that is your Orvilleism and my pouring my heart out at the end of shift tonight. So, okay, you guys are the best. Thanks for always joining us. Thanks for hanging with us. Seriously, we love what we do because we get to do it with you. So thank you.